Hi folks, hope you're doing well today. It's nearly 11:15 on the 21st of the 5th, 2020. Okay, in 5 months' time, it's the USA election. Again. Yeah. Oh dear. It's a difficult situation, I suppose. Well, because it looks like Trump is going to win again. Because Biden election people are weak. Very, very weak indeed. The Trump people are using anger and that sort of stuff to use their people, and yeah, saying that Biden is a liar and etc. That he's wrong about this and wrong about that, and he's weak in this sort of thing and weak in that thing as well. Whereas the Biden people are just saying, be nice to each other. Yeah, be helpful to each other, be nice to each other, be kind to each other. Problem is, you've got the worst president that probably has been in history, the biggest fool that has ever been in that position. I mean, we all thought Bush Jr. was a bit of a muppet. Because again, he said some of the most stupid things occasionally. You could see, even when he was talking, his brain wasn't quite engaged. I mean, compared to Trump, Bush was an absolute genius. So, should it be difficult for the Democrats to beat this man? Not at all. All they need to do is highlight his record, highlight his tweets, highlight the things that he's done and said. Simple. Because the Trump campaign are saying that Biden is weak in certain things, that Trump is weak about that things. So, yeah, use that. But no, they won't. Because obviously Trump will win. Yeah. So the people that are really in charge wants Trump to win. So yeah. Not good at all. It's quite insane though, especially Trump, the way he's doing things. It's quite likely he'll come down with the virus and be killed by it. Because the way he's telling people he's using certain drugs that, of course, not going to help with the virus in any way, shape, or form. But he's been pushing these drugs now for about a month. Yeah, hydrochlorine, I think that's what it's called. He's just been pushing this blinking thing. And he's now saying he's been using it for a few weeks. Because when I asked why has he been using this, yeah, what advice has he been given? He said, well, many people have said good things about it. This is the president of America. I mean, if the president of any other country had come up with such stupidity, yeah, they'd be ridiculed. So, yeah, ridicule him. Use that stuff to beat him. It's easy, really. Just use him to beat him. That's all you need to do. Obviously, people, if you vote for Trump, that's not good. Not good at all. You can't say you love people. You can't say you love God if you're voting for Trump. Not this time. The first time, you can say maybe it's a mistake. Yes. You know, you look at the other side in the first time. 2012, you can say, yeah, 2016, sorry, 2016, you can say, okay, yeah, Clinton wasn't exactly Snow White, and her campaign was run terribly. You could say, Trump was different. Because he was different, give him a chance. Yeah, I suppose, give him a chance. Yeah, it was foolish because he was a proven liar. The fact he was a proven liar, he's saying he's different than any other politician who are proven liars. And he himself was a proven liar. I mean, he was so anti-Obama, it was ridiculous. All these claims about Obama for years that were wrong. Use that stuff. Use it. It's not wrong to use it at all. He said it, so use it. As I say, use his tweets and his comments. Use it all. Challenge him about those sort of things, about using his brain. Say, okay, in this type of issue, we need a leader who could use his brain, and then prove he doesn't do that most of the time. There you go. I mean, for most people, there are still some people on the fence, which again is ridiculous. How on earth can you still be on the fence? I mean, I'd say one thing, that if the Democrats win, if you want to avoid having another Trump in the future, to have someone else like him, then what you have to do, you have to destroy Fox Network. That network, you've got to really damage it massively. You've got to go and call it what it is. It's a propaganda network. Certainly news, Fox News, all that sort of stuff. Call it what it is. So any benefits it gets for a news what's it called? News TV thing, take it away and tax them properly. But also put really, really bad tax thing for right-wing people or left-wing people, TV programs. You can't just do one side, do both. Say, okay, if you're doing that for the right side or left side, and that's all you care about, you don't care about news, you don't care about the right sort of things, then there you go. No tax breaks at all. We're going to sort you out. We're going to close you down or sort you out, one or other. Sorry, brain isn't working. I struggled a bit there. Yes. Well, it's quite late, but it's not quite late enough. You see, I had a half cup tea and a few things after taking the dogs for a walk earlier, and that just hasn't kicked in yet. So once that kicks in, brain starts working. You can hear the doggy sleeping. That's Mollie snoring. They're a good one. What I was talking about was the propaganda TV channels. If it's left or right, sort them out. Say no more of that at all. If you want to do that, we will tax you out. So if you want to keep doing that, then 80% tax. Stop them. So the problem is there's too many people in America, especially in America. There's too many people who are too thick. Really, really thick people who look at Fox and the Fox people say, oh, they said that. Well, it must be true. Oh, it must be true. And they said that about Clinton, that Clinton is runs prostitutes in that area. My, okay, we can't vote for her then, can we really? Oh, she's a criminal. Okay. Janet then. Yeah, we can't trust her, can we? All this crap that the Fox Network have said, so many people believe all of it. So either educating the people or stop the far right or far left channels. Do one of them. Then you can stop people like Trump winning. Because people need to think. People need to learn to think. But yes, in America, there's enough people who can think to beat Trump. But the other side has to use everything to beat him. There's no point saying if he goes really, really down, dirty, we're going to go high. But you're going to lose? Because last time, that's exactly what you were saying. If he goes down and dirty, we're going to go high. Yeah, you lost. You got to decide what this is about, really. Is it about getting this man out of the White House? Because at the moment, I think that has to be priority. If you've got a bit of a lunatic in charge, where certainly the rest of the nations don't really respect your country anymore, but then you've got to make a decision. You've got to say, no, the most important thing is we get rid of him. Yeah, that's why they should have backed Sanders instead of Biden. They're both about the same age, but Sanders is more of a fighter. Biden is like your favourite uncle. Yeah, lovely man, but no fight really. Yeah, that's why they are saying, yeah, be nice to people, yeah, because that's what a lovely uncle would say. What America needs is a fighter, really. So when Trump says really stupid things about him, yeah, he can say, okay, you want to do that? Okay, this is what you said before. Yeah. You think I'm weak about that? Let's see about you. How weak are you about that? Use it. Yeah. Use what you've got to fight. It doesn't mean you need to be dirty or you need to be foul. Yeah. Do it right. You can fight rightly. Do that. But trying to be really, really better than him and win, it didn't work last time. It really didn't work. You're trying to be fluffy wuffy and you're against someone who is dirty and disgusting and who certainly a great part of your country thinks is different enough to the rest that he might do things differently that could benefit them. certainly those people in your country who are just as outrightly dumb and stupid as he is, as Trump is, or who seem to be that way, because they see something about them in him. When he says stupid things and people advocate him for it, they see that in them. That's why they vote for him. When they're uneducated and they can't string a few words together and they see him, they think, yeah, he represents us. The normal sort of people, politic people, no chance. But him, yeah, he's not them. So yeah, you need some of those people, really. Yeah, not for the numbers, really, because there's enough people to beat him, really. But you need every of them people, because obviously Trump will say you were cheating, so he won't leave, and his people will get their guns and try to stop him getting out. So you need to beat him really, really bad. Really, really bad. Yeah. If only the right-wing nutcases vote for Trump and everyone else votes for Biden, then Trump will have to leave, because the numbers will be so ridiculous he won't really be able to say, well, you were cheating, you were cooking the numbers a bit. It'll be clear he hasn't got the support of the people. So also, the police won't be able to side with him. The military won't be able to side with him. Not when the majority of the people, by a massive amount, voting against him. So therefore, he will have to leave. His people may get their guns and try to stop him from leaving, but obviously the police and military will stop them. But obviously, if it's close, the police, etc., won't do anything. They won't do a thing. Because obviously, I mean, he's actually said with the police, he said that the police should be able to kill whoever they want, basically. If they've got a criminal who's resisting arrest, then they should be able to just shoot them. He said the police were right by doing that when they've done it. He's never, ever, ever, ever put any question on police who have been just disgusting in the way they've done things. He's always supported them fully, way beyond fully supporting. Yeah, when they beat people up, he said, well, that's good. Yeah, they should do more of that. So, of course, any sort of dodgy cop is going to be supporting Trump and wanting to make sure that Trump stays in, because if Biden gets in, Biden might try and sort out the dodgy police. I don't think he will, but he might. Of course, Trump won't. They know Trump won't try and sort it out. There's no chance about that at all. So, yeah. Anyway, folks. That will have to do for now, but as I say, just make sure you vote. If you know anyone who lives in America and you don't live in America, then just remind those people to be active. If they don't like Trump, then they've got to stand up, not just on their own, but help others to stand up against him, to make sure that in October he's out. Well, I think it's in November he'll be out, but make sure they get people voting. Same as over here, there was someone saying recently that actually a good friend of Trump's, Piers Morgan, was saying, he was a good friend of Trump's before, and now Trump doesn't like. That person said, obviously, in this time with this virus, we need really, really good leaders. And America and Britain have fools. So, yeah. So obviously, vote him out because we need better leaders to help us to beat this thing. So, if you think this virus is done, then vote for Trump. Because if you think it's done because it's dying a bit now, then you're stupid. If you're stupid, vote for Trump. Because you really are expected to vote for Trump if you are that stupid to believe this virus is done. If this virus isn't done, if the numbers are only going down because the people are being locked down, and once the lockdown ends, it's going to get worse and far worse than it ever has been, which I think it probably is. The problem is the virus is out there now. We all know it's spread into so many countries that are locked down fairly quickly. Even though they're locked down fairly quickly, the death rate and the amount of people that got it were pretty high, considering the lockdown was fairly quick. If you open up this quickly, then you have to understand that it's going to spread, and it's going to spread quickly, because there's going to be a resistance to be locked down again. That's one thing, and that's one thing that's going to be a certainty. Don't think for a second that even politicians are going to fancy locking down everything again really quickly. They don't want to do that at all. And of course, the people, no chance. We've been locked down for 2 months. Okay. We tried that. Did it work? Maybe, maybe not. So let's try something else. Yeah. And so therefore, if people are thinking like that, the virus will be much, 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 much bigger. Yeah, probably about September or November, yeah. Probably around the same time as the election. It's going to really, really be massive again. So if it's going to keep coming back, then we need leaders who are going to be able to deal with it, who are going to be talking sensible. Trump is most certainly not that type of leader. Like he was saying the other day, and this is something that didn't amaze me really, seeing as who was saying it, but he was saying about what is it? We're going to have a vaccine. Whoever really, really wants it can have it. Now, I think what he's saying there is we're going to have a vaccine, but it's going to cost you. Because saying whoever really, really wants it, well, hold it, if they got a vaccine, wouldn't everybody want it? Wouldn't every single person want the blinking thing? If it's a true vaccine, it's not only going to heal you if you've got it, but also prevent you from getting the blinking thing. Wouldn't you want it? I mean, that way you can go and visit your older relatives. Yeah, your children can go and visit their grandparents. Yeah, if you've all had this thing. So of course it would. But obviously, if it's expensive, most people can't have it. So that's why he said, if people really, really want it, they can have it. Because obviously he's saying, if you really, really want it, sell your car and use the money to get that. So obviously we need someone who says, right, no, it's going to be free. Yeah, the virus can kill anybody, so it's free to everybody. Yes, everybody gets this virus for free. It's not as if these companies that have been making the blinking thing haven't made an absolute blinking fortune from the people, from distributing and selling drugs. I mean, I was watching something the other day about oxycodone and how the company that made that knew that it was killing people in the millions. Millions by millions by millions were getting addicted by it. And then using bigger drugs. And when they fear about that, they stopped the drugs. Totally. They took it out from the chemists and everything. They said, okay, no more of them. Because now you can't say we did that. So obviously, what did people do? They went to, what's it called, cocaine and heroin. Yeah. And now the problem is massive. Absolutely massive. And that's the thing. That company that made that drug made billions from it. Absolute billions. So there's no reason whatsoever that a company can't develop the vaccine, find it, and then give the details of that vaccine to all the other companies worldwide and say, you go make it. Yeah. Make as much as your country needs so that everybody can have the vaccine for free. Yeah, the company that made it, they might have put a bit of work into it. They put a bit of work into it, a bit of time for the scientists, to do that. But they're going to get recognition from it anyway. They're going to get sponsorship for it anyway. They get money. They'll always get money coming in, especially if they're the ones who developed it, because they're going to get money to improve their business. And the next virus that comes along, they can deal with that as well. Yeah. Of course, they will get money. So they don't need the people to pay for it. So obviously, we need better leaders. So, yeah. It's what it is. Obviously, right now, I think Trump will win. As I've said before, I don't believe in any way, shape, or form this is God's will. But then again, God says to people, you have free will. If you want to vote for this idiot, you vote for him. Otherwise, it's quite possible. I was saying years ago, one thing that I suspected years ago is that you look in Revelations, it says you won't be able to buy or sell anything without the sign of the beast. Well, to need that, you'd have to have a one world government where everything is done through this one world government, because it says that the Antichrist will be at the head of this government, basically. He will be very, very high up in that. And it says that he will then go to the Holy of Holies and he would desecrate everything there. But he will make sure you cannot buy or sell without the 666. And we know, according to Scripture, you can't have the 666 if you're saved. But we know in order to do that, you'd have to have one government, you have to have one finance across the whole world, you'd have to have one army, one police force, because all these things have to be policed. You couldn't have wars going on, because then it means that people would have to finance whatever they needed by whatever they had. So it also says that he will bring peace. But again, he's not going to bring peace unless there's basically one world government. And so we have a European Union, which I think is a forerunner, even though that seems to be going quite badly right now. But I think that's probably going badly in a way so that they can learn from it. And so this is why that didn't work. Well, what we need to do, we need to be much, much, much more integrated so that countries like the UK can't leave. We need to make it impossible for countries to leave. And then you get what's counted as the American Union and the Asian Union as well. And then those three will be one. Yeah. So it looks like Trump is needed to do that, maybe. No idea. Anyway, as I said, brain isn't working properly, so trying to talk about all that stuff, when the brain isn't working is quite tricky. But there you go. There's a little bit of that stuff because, I think there will be one world order eventually, according to Scripture. That's where it's going to be. So therefore, for that to happen, you'll need America and America's constitution to go bye-bye. You need all of that to go bye-bye. Because how can they be governed by an America's Union? Because apparently America's Union will be America, Canada, Mexico, and I think a few others will be thrown into that. And then the Asian one will be the Asian nations, along with Australia, New Zealand. But then there might be need for a fourth, because obviously you've got South America, unless that goes into the American one. I don't know. I wouldn't imagine so. Far too far away to go into that. I don't know what they're close to. Argentina, those sort of areas, I don't know what they're close to. So, time will tell what happens to that. As I said, there may be four. There may be a fourth one there. But then the whole idea is all four will join together as one. And you'll have one currency, and that currency will obviously be the 666. One government, one police force, one medical sort of won't be insurance. It'd be like, obviously you'll get it for free, or you should do at least. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens, but yeah. I mean, I think it's the case. What was I told years ago? I think I was told years ago that Bush had a part to play in signing away a lot of the things that were necessary to create an American Union. So maybe, as I say, maybe Trump is the one to really finish that off, because isn't he really the one who'd be more likely to do it? I mean, something else I'd say actually with regards to his campaign that is quite hilarious. They say, again, it was the what's it called? It was the, let me have a look. Let's back out of there. It was called Vice News Tonight, the 19th of the 5th one. And they're talking about the campaigns, and they're talking about Trump's campaign being run like a military campaign. Now that is amazing, as Trump was really the only president ever to have not been in the military at all, to never serve. Yeah, he made some excuse about shin splints, didn't he, or something like that. And so, yeah, his campaign is running a military-style campaign for a leader who was just a complete coward when it came to going into the military. And saying that, let's be honest, most people in America haven't been in the military, didn't go in the military at all, but they weren't at a time when it was requested that people would go into the military at least for a short period of time, and Trump was in that time, and he used a fake excuse to get out of it. And because he had a rich daddy, he was able to get out of it. So, yeah. It is what it is, isn't it? You know. I mean, as I say, yeah, if they weren't running a sort of minute or making a point about running a military style campaign, it wouldn't matter, would it, really, what he'd done in the past. It's like, again, most presidents have shown their tax reports, but he won't show his. Oh, he'll make sure his isn't shown because there are quite likely ties to Russia in his tax returns. That you'll see he's had dealings and the Russian mafia and really Russian premier, Putin, all this bunch, where the one's bankrolling Trump and helping him to be the man he is now. It's quite likely that is the case. I mean, it's certainly a case that if there's nothing dodgy in his tax returns, why has he not let people see that? I mean, 4 years ago, he said he was going to allow people to see it once he won the election. He still hasn't done so. He still hid them from the public. Why? What is he trying to hide? It's quite likely he's trying to hide something. What? And the problem is, the more he doesn't do it, the more people are going to think that he really is trying to hide something, because what would be the other reason for it? He's doing something that's dodgy, obviously. What he's doing that's dodgy is it something bad or is something really bad? The longer it goes on, the more people are going to think it's something really bad, because he's keeping it hidden for such a long time. We all know already that unusually for a president, he's not really divested his businesses. He still makes a ton of money. Like when he goes on retreats, where does he go to? His own resorts, Trump resorts. So he's making millions from millions from millions from millions from millions from being the president. He's making absolute millions. Because obviously when he goes to one of his resorts, the whole resort is taken up. So if he goes to one of his more expensive ones, then the whole, if he goes to one of his hotels, the whole of the hotel has to be closed down, and just him and his people, and that could be for a week. How much is that going to cost the taxpayer? And they've actually shown that quite often his resorts have charged the taxpayer extra because it's a president and all his entourage coming. They've whacked a load on top. Well, of course they have, because who's going to get the money? Trump. So when he does stop being the president, he will have all that money and all that business there, supported by him being president. Now, that is something that's supposed to be illegal. So that's something dodgy he's doing that everyone's perfectly aware. But again, the Democrats don't seem to care. They just don't seem to care. So they need to toughen up. They need to use Trump to beat Trump. Because I think that's our only hope. Because they've got Biden, and Biden's too nice. So they've got to start being clever. So don't come across as nasty. Don't come across as dirty. Just use him and what he's said to make it clear that this is not the man you want at a time when there's a pandemic that keeps on coming back, or that certainly is likely to come back even worse again. That you don't want this man in charge at that time. So there you go. We'll see what happens, folks. I mean, I don't think anyone from that party is going to listen to this video. In which case, they probably wouldn't even do anything about it. So you take care, God bless, and I will speak to you soon. So what happens, we will find out very soon. It's only 5 months' time. So, but be careful. If you're in an area where they've started to open things up, be wise, folks. Yeah, if you see someone coughing, stay some distance away. Stay the 2 meters or 6 feet away when you see anyone coughing. Try and stay a good distance away from people anyway. And if you've been in a shop, any shop, you've touched anything, even a door handle or anything like that, wash your hands. You know, take a little bottle of hand wash with you and wash your hands. And if you can wear a mask, wear a mask. But wash your hands. Because even if you wear a mask, apparently if you touch your eyes, it can still get into your system. How on earth, I don't know. Because I understand it can get to your lungs through your nose or your mouth. Yep, got that. Eyes? How the blinking noise does it get from your eyes to your lungs? As you can tell, I'm no medical expert. But I don't get that. But apparently it can. So most masks only cover the nose and mouth. So one option is wear reactional sunglasses. So yeah, they go dark when you're outside and light when you're indoors. That way you can't touch your eyes. So get a mask if you can, and wear glasses. I don't know what they're called, but they go light when you're indoors and they go dark when you're in sunlight. I've got 2 pairs of those, so I haven't got any masks. I could have bought some, but no. If I end up going back to the gym, which I'm going to have to because that's another point, I tried a bit of training today, and boy, I'm way below where I was 6 weeks ago. Last time I went to the gym, I'm way below that. But then again, I didn't really do anything. I've done really no training for a good month. You know, so yeah, there's. I'm going to now build it up again now, which is going to be fun. So, yeah. Right, you take care. God bless, and I will speak to you soon. Bye bye.